program that I find most exciting and challenging is the Weekend File. This is largely because of its philosophy of engaging all classes of people, the artisans, politicians, technocrats, captains of industry, and professional analysts on issues that touch all aspects of life and living. In the conversations that follow, you find complexities, different views, ideologies, thought patterns, and individual beliefs. It's quite engaging. We do this Saturdays on NTA Network Service at 9 p.m. It's Weekend File, but you call it Weekend Companion, and it's all about nation building. Join me, Kyrian Umayo, and production crew every Saturday for this weekend treat, and I can tell you that it is unmissable. Make it a day.
Masquerades occupies an important place in the socio-cultural development of African societies. The Masquerades Festival in Ikoro Ekiti is as old as its people. The festival is celebrated by the inhabitants of the ancient town in February every year. There is a general belief that the masquerades represents the spirits of our ancestors. Hence, the celebration involves the use of sacrifice to appease the gods of the land. Some of the masquerades that are prominent in Ikoro Ekiti are Elefon, Okotorojo, Laboku, Oloyiya, and others. The Masquerade Festival brings together the young, the old, the educated, and all segments of the people. His Royal Majesty Oba Dr. Olanrewaju Adeleye, the Atewagbe II, and others comment on the importance of the festival.
But tourism is one of the things that makes money to the government.
In Nigeria, we have several traditional festivals which we can also promote in order to engender better economy.
Festival to Ikoro Ekiti, I think, is one of the integral parts of the society. Okay. When you are talking of culture, we are talking of history. Yeah. It has become a device from generation to generation. Festival to Ikoro Ekiti, we have a lot of them because we are very rich in cultural heritage and we believe in culture.
Ikoro Ekiti is always agog and in joyous mood anytime the masquerades come out, accompanied by drummers and songs. If government can project this festival, it will become a source of tourism to the town, state, and the nation at large.
A classico, I tell you, my 3 points is clear.
Yes.
They go watch match. Oh.
Okay, what do you want me to do about it?
Give us light.
That's the only thing you've been saying since you came into my office.
Maybe your work be that.
No, it's my work, but see.
Our government fit do their work if we sef do our own work. No just sit down. Carry wetin dey worry you go meet who suppose solve am.
The modern Olympic Games were born on June 23, 1894. To mark the occasion, the International Olympic Committee (IOC) will get active on June 23rd worldwide to celebrate the Olympic values of excellence, friendship and respect. It will also celebrate the Olympic Day pillars of move, learn and discover, the spirit of Olympism. In Nigeria, the Nigerian Olympic Committee (NOC) is organizing a 3-day event in Lagos, Abuja and the state's capitals. The NOC also lined up rich audience engagement and crowdsourcing programs to support Team Nigeria towards Rio 2016 Olympic Games. The benefits are numerous and guaranteed maximum media exposure. Be part of the bold program.
This is a road. Our road. The road used to be good. Now, the road is not so good.
Come on for road now.
We tried to manage the road like that.
In the next 5 minutes, I will be there.
Some of us didn't even care. But there are other options. We can solve our problems by taking action. Our government can work better when we play our part. It's not your job to manage it. It's your job to talk about it. Get involved.
NTA International News. National Association of Resident Doctors suspends 11 days industrial action following intervention of the National Assembly. Officials of Chinese Ministry of Finance and African ministers discuss finance for African digital migration at 6th African Digital TV Development. Nigerian Immigration Service takes steps to actualize its critical reforms for easy acquisition of international passports, holds workshop for operatives. Welcome to the news on NTA International. I am Ifeanyi Okafor. And top on the bulletin, Nigeria's President Muhammadu Buhari has expressed concern over the wanton destruction of properties of the nation's critical assets by militants in the Niger Delta and urged well-meaning Nigerians in the interest of the economy to intervene. The president was speaking at the breaking of Ramadan fast with members of the All Progressives Congress, APC. State House correspondent Adamu Sambo reports.
Without mincing words, President Muhammadu Buhari told the leadership of the governing All Progressives Congress that the activities of the Niger Delta militants is now the nation's biggest problem. The president therefore called on Nigerians that have links with the perpetrators of the acts of sabotage to prevail on them to desist so that the country can fully realize her potentials.
We are in a very, very difficult time. This is not the first time we are in a difficult time. This time it's particularly bad. We are all in this because it was mentioned so many years ago, a generation ago. If anybody said he has any country other than Nigeria, let him go out and see. So for those of you who have friends, either among the leadership or the militants themselves, please, in the name of God Almighty, let them take it easy. Nigerians have a commitment to all its areas, both land and water. We need to stabilize for employment, for stabilizing the economy, for growing our own food and protecting our own borders and continuing. You try and convince the leadership in your constituencies to persuade Nigerians to be Nigerians.
He used the forum to congratulate the APC leadership for the successful conduct of the governorship primaries in Edo State, which he described as encouraging compared to what he called the disappointing situation experienced in Rivers State.
People who are being slaughtered and burnt alive. It's a very, very primitive way that I thought we have said goodbye to it a long time ago. I was very disappointed and I don't think I will ever forget it. Now, Edo gave me a new hope. We are going to watch very closely at Ondo so that Nigerians in those states will feel happy that their votes will count.
The national chairman of the APC, John Odigio Yegun, who formally welcomed the president back from vacation, expressed gratitude to him for setting new standards for Nigeria through the faithful implementation of the change agenda.
Yes, we are going through difficult times. Yes, there is a multitude of challenges out there. Yes, corruption is fighting back mightily. But change does not come easy.
Former Vice President Atiku Abubakar and former Speaker of the House of Representatives Gali Umar Naabba were among the APC chieftains at the Ramadan breakfast. From the State House, Adamu Sambo, NTA News.
President Muhammadu Buhari says he regrets the resignation of British Prime Minister David Cameron, noting that over the years, Nigeria has enjoyed remarkable goodwill, support and understanding under the capable leadership of the Prime Minister, who will be stepping down in October. A statement by the President's Senior Special Assistant on Media and Publicity, Garba Shehu, said Cameron's resignation is a response to the outcome of the referendum that supported Britain to leave the European Union. It was a demonstration of courage by a democratic leader who respects the will of the people. President Buhari stated that the Prime Minister proved himself to be a selfless leader with respect for democracy and voted sovereignty by putting the people's will before his political future. Nigeria, he said, looks forward to greater cooperation and consolidation of shared interests with Britain, not minding the outcome of the referendum. A special meeting focused on discussing financing for African digital migration was organized by Star Times on the sidelines of the 6th African Digital TV Development Seminar between officials of the Chinese Ministry of Finance and African ministers and government representatives. Speaking on behalf of the African ministers, Nigeria's Minister of Information and Culture, Lai Mohammed, asked that the conditions for the loans be made accessible to African governments. Juliet Aino reports.
Was a private meeting with only one topic on the table: money. Face to face with the purse keepers and finance executives of the Chinese government, the African ministers of information and government representatives were quick to express the financial wishes of their governments. It was an opportunity to pose specific questions and make specific requests about digitization and funding options from China's Exim Bank. Nigeria's Minister of Information, Lai Mohammed, was chosen to speak on behalf of the African ministers at the opening of the meeting.
Some countries like Nigeria, for instance, that already have the offer of concessional loan for broadcasting for digitization. So such countries like Nigeria would need to put its act together and make sure that it's able to access that loan. And that's why one of the things I asked for was that the conditionalities should be such that will not make it too inaccessible.
Moderated by Star Times President Pang Xingxin, who organized the meeting with officials of China's Ministry of Commerce, the meeting revealed that most African countries are still awaiting response from the Chinese government on their application for concessional loan for various projects. China's Vice Minister of Commerce, Zhang Shanshen, gave response to each question, requests and suggestions from the African ministers. At the end of the meeting, Vice Minister Zhang assured them that the Chinese government is aware of the importance and urgency of the loans for the digitization project, which is needed for the countries to meet the next switch-off deadline in Africa.
The world of technology today, it is so huge that the possibilities are so limitless. And for a continent, and especially my country, Nigeria, that has such a young generation, if you can unleash, the power of technology and marry it with ingenuity and the creativity of Nigerians, the sky will be the limit.
From Beijing, China, Julieta Aino, NTA News.
Back home in Nigeria, the federal government is looking into strategic options available for young entrepreneurs and how their technology ideas and innovations can be used as solutions in Nigeria's public and private sectors. State House correspondent Jide Onifade attended the pre-selection event in Abuja. The report.
We want to grow a farmer network of urban farmers, not rural farmers, and because
Angel Adelaja is the Chief Executive Officer of Fresh Direct Nigeria Containerized Farms, which she hopes to use to boost urban farming. Peter Agada, on his part, is working to assist the military improve its communication facilities.
I is intelligence, S is surveillance, R is reconnaissance network.
These are just two out of millions of Nigerian youths whose ideas are capable of transforming the nation. And at this pre-selection pitch event for the Aso Villa Demo Day in Abuja, experts are identifying and selecting some of the best technology innovations that will help Nigeria move forward.
Solutions are solutions that come out of innovative ideas. And for the first time, we have the government, directly from the apex, from President Muhammadu Buhari and the Vice President, keenly interested in young Nigerians coming up with innovative ideas to solve local problems. So this has never been done before. We've never had this amount of interest from government in Nigerians that are coming up with technology solutions to local problems.
So I think here today, I've seen a healthy crop of entrepreneurs who have the right ideas, who have taken the time and initiative to create proof of concepts. So what we're trying to do is to galvanize their ideas and boost them so that they have the right infrastructure to get to a point where those ideas become scalable, truly scalable, and can make real changes.
The Vice President recently drew the attention of Nigerians to an imminent revolution in technology that would engulf the nation. Nigerians, he said, should be prepared as virtually all transactions would be done through technology. Participants here are proving the time is fast approaching. In Abuja, Jude Onifate, NTA News.
Turning to judiciary matters, issues for an improved case management system of the Community Court of Justice, ECOWAS, dominated discussions at the retreat at Goshen, Nasarawa State, Nigeria. The 4-day deliberation, which is the 8th judicial retreat of the community, have mostly judges from ECOWAS states. Saliu Abdullahi reports.
The judicial retreat is an important annual activities of the Community Court of Justice, ECOWAS, aimed at reviewing processes and activities to enhance the efficiency in judicial proceedings. President of the community, Justice Jerome Traore, says amid current financial challenges and low-level compliance by member states, training and retraining of staff is imperative.
De ce que la communauté, namely the issue concerning the execution of the judgment of the court. As you said, some states do not enforce the judgment, or some take their time with regard to the enforcement of the judgment of the court.
The importance of a case management system cannot be overemphasized. In any court system, speedy administration of justice is of cardinal importance.
Participants are expected to be better managers of court cases for speedy administration of justice.
Out of the 15 countries, our last information was that only 3 countries had put in place proper mechanisms for the enforcement of judgment by this court. The countries are Nigeria, Guinea, and Togo, I believe. We are embarking on efforts to get other member states to see the wisdom in complying with judgments issued by the court.
The event is holding alongside the 5th Judges Retreat of the ECOWAS Community Court. Salihu Abdullahi, NTA News.
Away from the judiciary to the legislature, Kogi State House of Assembly crisis has been resolved. At a reconciliatory meeting convened by Governor Yaya Bello, members of the 2 factions agreed to sheath their swords for peace to reign in the state. The legislators have agreed to reconstitute the principal officers when the House reconvenes after its current break.
The reconciliatory meeting between the 2 factions was convened by Governor Yaya Bello to put an end to the crisis which has crippled legislative functions in the state.
A day that will go down in the history of Kogi State, that the people of Kogi State are capable of resolving their problems internally, without external influence. The misunderstanding, like I said, between brothers can best be resolved within the brothers. So Kogi State House of Assembly have come together, they have set aside their differences, they understood it better and have decided to forge ahead. So we have resolved all the differences that existed between us before now.
By the reason of the intervention of the governor and of course the meeting we have held, the issue of suspension is nullified. We are back to the House of Assembly as one very important people made to make law for the people of Kogi State.
Yeah, the court cases, well, that one is another thing which I know very sure we are going to withdraw all the court cases since it's a litigation and it's on the same purpose. Now that we have resolved ourselves, all we need to do is to withdraw the cases. We are going to make an official letter to the National Assembly to inform them that we have resolved ourselves. So based on the resolution that we have reached today, we will communicate to them to enable them to lift the ban on us.
It will be recalled that trouble started shortly after the House was inaugurated on June 3, 2015, when different groups were laying claim to the Speaker, making the House to abandon its functions for several months. Clement Olorutoba, NTA News.
Turning now to health matters, the nationwide industrial action embarked upon by the National Association of Resident Doctors has been suspended. Addressing the media in Abuja, National President of the Association, Dr. Muhammad Adamu Askira, said the strike was suspended due to the genuine intervention of the Speaker, House of Representatives, Yakubu Dogara, Chairman Senate Committee on Health, Dr. Lanre Tejoshu, and Chairman House Committee on Health Institution, Betty Apiafi. He said the decision is to enable government implement the agreements within the agreed time. The strike started as a center-based action on the 9th of June to a full-blown national strike on the 20th of June. The action is to press home the doctors' demands on issues previously discussed and agreed with the federal government. The Nigerian Immigration Service says it is now set to start the smooth implementation of some of its newly introduced reforms in the services of passport reissuance nationwide. This is coming after the service embarked on a training workshop for all passport control officers to enhance their capacities. Justin Bemuyi reports.
In the past, Nigerians have had to travel to the headquarters of the Nigeria Immigration Service, Abuja, for reissuance of international passports in the event of change of name or loss. But all these have changed following the decentralization of passport issuance.
Reissue or issuance of passports due to change of name related to women in respect of marriage, we said that can be done at the state level. The second reform is the issue of lost. We said it will be done at the state level. I promised Nigerians 1 month ago that I will do this in the next 2 months. I gave timeline. It is 1 month now. The one that concerned women will be effective from Monday. The lost case will be done before the termination of the period because more technology has to be developed. But above all, the greatest reform Nigerians should be happy with is that you should pay your passport fee according to the official fees of government.
This workshop is to build the capacity of the operatives to actualize the reforms. The Comptroller General of the service advised Nigerians to pay for passport services through the official portal of Immigration Service to help curb corruption. Justin Bemuyi, NTA News.
This is the news on NTA International, reaching you from Abuja, Nigeria's capital. There will be more reports after the break. Don't go away.
Information is power. Everyone wants power. So feel powerful with the NTA News mobile app, the one-stop information center. Real news at your fingertip. Be the first to report by uploading first-hand information on the YouReport link, and be the first to know by simply clicking on any of the links on the sidebar for headlines, domestic and foreign news, economy, security, politics, sports, and more. Stream live on your smartphone and tablets and stay connected. It's pretty easy. Simply download NTA News app from your Google Play Store and you're good to go. NTA News mobile app, your access to real-time information.
NTA International News. Africa as it is.
Great to have you back on the news. Education is no doubt an instrument for effecting national development, but how education develops an individual into a sound and effective citizen, experts say, is based on the quality of the system of education. In this report, Obiageli Ugoke takes a look at the standard of education in Nigeria.
Research has shown that education is the bedrock of development. It further indicates that for this development to take place, there must be provision of equal educational opportunities for all citizens of the nation. Unfortunately, school system in Nigeria is plagued with some social vices such as examination malpractices, cultism, hooliganism, and corruption.
In the past, what you had was qualification to be a teacher is that you must pass your NCE 2, which was a veritable ground for preparation for being a teacher, to be able to impact and transfer knowledge.
No nation grows above its teacher. If you look at all the developed countries, they firstly focus on their teacher, even thinking that as Mr. President now come on board, he will resolve us.
Key operators in the sector have identified measures on improving the standard of education in Nigeria, starting from changing the monolithic approach to knowledge acquisition, funding, technical teachers recruitment process, and digitization of teachers' education.
But they're supposed to put the round peg in the round hole. Anything National Teachers Corps, anything recruitment of teacher, anything about teaching should be for B.Ed and NCE.
We do not want quantity. We want both quantity and quality. Quality education is not a byproduct of a reduction in unemployment. We must be strategic. and we must be seen to have clear and identified goals.
The federal government is, however, applauded for opting to employ 500,000 teachers to address the challenge of insufficient teachers in the country. Experts hopes that teachers will be properly equipped for the task. Obiageli Ugoke, NTA News.
Many thanks, Obiageli. Now, Justin Bemuyi takes us through stories that made headlines within the week.
Hello and a warm welcome. Glad to have you join us on this segment of the Bulletin, The Week in Review. I am Justin Bemuyi. Now, we kickstart the review with President Muhammadu Buhari's passionate appeal to Nigerians to pray fervently to God in the spirit of the season for Nigeria to overcome prevailing challenges for national unity, stability, and sustainable socio-economic development. The president made the appeal during the week while hosting Vice President Yemi Osinbajo and members of the Federal Executive Council to break Ramadan fast.
Let us keep on this prayer all the time, believing that God in His infinite mercy will listen to our prayers, give us peace, security, and get to the economy once more.
In a related development, President Muhammadu Buhari within the week urged Nigerians to seriously reflect on the nation's economic predicament and take a part of honor by ensuring that they do not lose the golden opportunity at their disposal to salvage the country for sustainable development. This was when he addressed the management and staff of the State House. The same week under review had the newly elected Secretary General of OPEC, Dr. Mohamed Bakindo, pay a thank you visit to President Muhammadu Buhari. Speaking to newsmen after the visit, the new OPEC Secretary pledged full support to the ongoing reforms in Nigeria's oil and gas as well as the power sectors. A major development in the Nigeria police force as events continued to unfold during the week was President Muhammadu Buhari's approval of the appointment of Ibrahim Idris as the Acting Inspector General of Police. He succeeded Mr. Solomon Arase, who retired after 35 years in service. In the course of the week, the federal government further demonstrated its belief in technology as a major driver of governance and economic growth as Vice President Yemi Osinbajo launched a standard operating procedures and port service portal in the management of the nation's seaport. Now, a quick look at events from the National Assembly. The Senate passed the 24.1 billion naira 2016 budget of the Niger Delta Development Commission, NDDC, which is about 19 billion naira less than the figure sent by President Muhammadu Buhari. Still from the Senate, we told you that towards ascertaining the disbursement and utilization of a $40 million African loan and 86.6 billion naira allegedly released by the federal government in 2011 for the rehabilitation of the aviation industry, an investigative hearing was held to identify any cases of misappropriation. The House of Representatives on its part said the 3 members accused of misconduct by the United States ambassador to Nigeria are still innocent until proven guilty. This followed a motion moved by one of the accused members, Representative Mark Bila. And away from the legislature to other matters, the Army High Command during the week said their loyalty to the Commander-in-Chief is undivided, maintaining that it is deploying all resources to find out the source of rumors of a coup plot. This was after a closed-door meeting of the Chief of Army Staff, Lieutenant General Tuku Buratai, with general officers commanding GOCs and other commanders to review the general security situation and operations across the country. Moving on, we brought to you a report in the week under review that as a fallout of President Buhari's state visit to China in April this year, a team of Chinese investors arrived in Abuja to commence engagements with their Nigerian counterparts on coal to power generation, waste to power generation, as well as mining and agricultural mechanization. We also told you that the biannual China-Africa Platform for Exchange Cooperation and Media Dialogue opened its third session in Beijing, hosted by the Chinese Minister of State Administration of Press, Publications, Radio, Film and Television. The forum, which opened a new era for China-Africa media, focused on win-win cooperation for common development. And just before the week rolled out, President Muhammadu Buhari said he regrets the resignation of British Prime Minister David Cameron, noting that Nigeria has enjoyed remarkable goodwill, support and understanding under the capable leadership of the Prime Minister that will be stepping down in October. Cameron's resignation is in response to the outcome of a referendum that supported Britain to leave the European Union. And that wraps it up. Many thanks for watching, and do stay tuned for the rest of the news.
The week in review there. Uchenwizu now has stories making headlines on the foreign scene.
EU states have urged Britain to hold